Alright everybody, hello and welcome as always. I am Sean and this is In The Mixer, episode 53, I think like episode 3 of our quarantine, coronavirus, stay at home type meals. If you want to define a silver lining, if you want to define something to focus on that's positive, it makes me change my shirt each day. Not that I bothered to iron this one, it looks absolutely horrific, but at least for continuation in the videos, I do make sure I've changed it. Another day, another huge episode, so let's jump straight in and see where we're at and do a bit of a recap as well. Right, so this is where we currently stand. 14 games played, 5 wins, 2 draws, and 7 defeats. We haven't been fantastic since that last episode, but we have played some very, very good teams, which I'll go through in a moment. The big one that I wanted to show you guys before we get stuck in is FC Isle of Man Chairman Scotch's talk of a takeover. FC Isle of Man Chairman Peter Clark has sensationally quashed reports of a potential takeover at the club by a rich benefactor. Speculation amounted in recent days amidst talk of a deal for the club to change hands, but no longer appears to be the case, leaving their immediate future rather uncertain. Please, football manager gods, wherever you might be, please get me a rich benefactor. I would love to have a billionaire owner. That would be fantastic, and it would definitely help us get up the divisions a little bit quicker. Financially speaking, we're not doing horribly. We're probably in the best position we've ever been in with about £1 million in the bank, but that's going to drop off, as we get into the new year, as our season costs continue to run up. And you can see here, our profit loss margins kind of as of last month or this month have switched back into the negative. So I'd assume we're probably going to bottom out most of what we currently have in the bank anyway. As far as the results are concerned, of course, in that last episode, a really good episode, actually, when you think about it. A 5-2 win against Hull, who are a very good side. A 0-0 draw with Millwall, who we know are a very good side and are up towards the top of the division. But then since then, we've kind of had some disappointing results. 1-0 defeat to Walsall. Fired the penalty spot in the second half. You can see from our average match ratings here, nobody really got going at any point in that game. We lost to Sunderland 2-1, a 91st minute winner for them. From a corner, very frustrating. But again, a similar scenario where just like no one really performed at a high level, and that kind of cost us a little bit. We have had to rotate due to international call-ups, injuries, suspensions, all that sort of stuff that does come during a regular season. But they beat Bolton 3-1 in the Leasing.com trophy. Continuing a good run of results in that competition. I would love to get more points in the league. We're probably going to focus on that. And then a very, very, very tough game. 5-0 humbling at Peterborough, who at the moment I think is sitting towards the top of the division. They might have gone top with this win as well. They were very good. Sean Wademan still had a good game in the centre of the park for us. But really, they were much better than us. You could definitely see there was like a difference in quality in terms of the way that they finished their chances and whatever else. They effectively had like 5 highlights, scored every time. And we never really got a foot in the game. We have managed to turn it around a little bit. A few players coming back through. I did rotate the squad just a little bit based on form, fitness, whatever else. Tried a couple of different people in a couple of different positions. And we got a good result. A 2-1 win away at MK Dons. They took an early lead and I thought, here we go again. It's going to be a whole drama. But Dwayne Record, thankfully, with the double, getting us the 3 points on that occasion, which shoots us back up the table just a little bit. We're currently on 17 points, which isn't horrible. If we do get a win in our game in hand on some of these teams that are on 15 and 16, we can rocket back up into the top 10 spots. So super important that we have a successful episode today. And of course, we are playing 2 teams towards the bottom of the division in Burton, who are in 22nd, and Forest Green, who are 23rd. Given that last episode, we did quite well against teams sitting up towards the top of the division, I'm really quite confident that now we're playing 2 teams at the bottom, we will lose both games convincingly. That's just the way Football Manager works sometimes, and as we know, once you load up the game, anything can happen. Magic ready, though, we're going to jump forward and have a look at the 2 lineups for the Burton game now. Right, so this is how we're going to line up. Johnson, of course, in goal. Taylor and McCluskey as the central defensive partnership. Preston Kelly and Wright as the 2 fullbacks. Williams is currently playing at right wing. Dean is currently injured. Wademan and Munoz as the central midfield partnership. Taylor, who's been excellent on the left wing. And Knowles and Record up top. Record back in fitness, back in the side. Still our leading scorer for the season. When he's on, he's very, very good. When he's not, it's a bit frustrating. They've got still a decent side here. TJ Ioma is a player that we've looked at for years, trying to get him to come across from the Tottenham Academy originally, and he's been kind of falling through the leagues before then. He's at Burton now. He previously played at Salford, who are, of course, still down in League 2. Very solid player. They're using him as a right back. I think his preferred position is in the middle. He would potentially play against Chapchet, who we've also looked at when his contract at Southampton ended back in the day. So there's quite a few different players here that we've seen before that they have been able to pick up. Looks to be a fairly solid option in the centre of defence. Looking further forward, Sammy Smodzic is their leading scorer for the season so far. He's a proper number 10 from Colchester, came through the Bristol City Academy, and is there at the start of the division, it looks like. He looks okay, nothing spectacular. Tipple, their leading assist maker up top, looks a little bit, nastier. He's got 15 heading, 13 finishing, 14 free kick taking, 16 acceleration, 16 flair. So he looks like he might be a bit of a handful leading the line up top. And they're playing with 2 wide wingers, Jan Dander, who came through, I think, the Liverpool Academy and then at Swansea. Fairly solid lower league option if you're looking for a quality left winger in your own save. Wern on the other side, the other leading assist maker. Came through the Middlesbrough Academy, so they've got a bit about them in terms of both real players and regens. Hopefully we can assertively say, pick up where you left off last time, stay on our attacking structure, go after them a little bit. We're playing at home, they're a lower division side, and get an early goal to kind of settle my nerves and potentially maybe boost our goal difference a little bit. We are on -5 goal difference now after that game against Peterborough. We're kind of just breaking even so far this season. We do really need to put a good run of results together to boost that goal difference because it might be super important in the second half of the season. You don't really know. All right, first corner of the game here, Sam Taylor to take. Goes to Williams, who puts it front post. It's fallen to the top of the box, and Waldman's there. Back to McCluskey, and he gets a strike away. Not really where you'd expect your centre-back to be, and it's probably no surprise that he wanted offside in the build-up there. We're going to demand more here. 10 minutes remaining in the first half. You can see we kind of are getting used to the body language, not the body language, but the shouts that we use. Everyone responding positively. But no further highlights. At halftime, 4 shots, 3 on target, 58% possession. They've had 1, and 42. What I am going to say is we've been the better team here, and let's also assertively tell the defence, you weren't that bad, but you can play a bit better. And let's mix it up tactically. Let's go to our positive structure. Just a little bit of a step back from the attacking one, and we'll see if we can get a bit of a boost out of the team with both a positive team talk and a positive mentality for the second half. We've also got 3 defenders on yellow cards, which is a bit of a concern. Highlight here, right to take, throw into Munoz. Goes back through to Wademan, who does a tremendous amount of work on his own in midfield. Deep ball from right towards Taylor back post, and he got there first. It came off Ioma, nearly squeezed its way in there at far post. The resulting corner here to be taken by Williams. Deep ball across, no one's really in the area. McCluskey's got at the ball now, but Tipple recovers. Ball forward, recovered by Wright, and the highlight comes to an end. Let's look at our subs as well. All right, I've got 3 players that aren't necessarily playing that well. Preston Kelly at left back, Record, and Taylor. I'm thinking I might leave Taylor out there, but I might drop Dwayne Record. No, let's do all 3. Let's go risk it. You got to risk it to get the biscuit. It's not ideal, particularly if those couple of players still on yellow cards, but we'll also bring on... So Lewington comes on at left winger, Angelo comes on at left back, and Coulon comes up front as the poacher. Let's use our Get Creative shout as well with 20 minutes remaining. Everyone seems inspired, which is great, but we just really need to find a goal more than anything else. All right, last 10 minutes, we're going to mix it up. We're going to go to our attacking structure again, and I'm going to use a shout. I'm going to demand more, and hopefully... Oh, they've immediately got a highlight. It's from a corner as well, and he got the header first, but thankfully, just over the crossbar there. 4 minutes to be added on here. Is there going to be any late drama? We've got a highlight here on the left-hand side. Ball sent down the channel for Coulon. Can he get a good ball in the box? There's a man there in Knowles, and he's offside. We have found the back of the net, but I'm unlucky that he just missed the timing of that run, or maybe the ball was a little bit late coming through. Any late highlights to be added on here? Come on. No, the referee's called full time. 6 shots, 3 on target. 6 shots, 3 on target for them as well. We had 56% of the ball. They had 44. They definitely came into it a little bit more in the second half. I'm going to say aggressively, you don't deserve a rest after that performance, and everyone's responded positively, which is good. But we need to be beating teams that are down in the relegation places. That's really more 2 points dropped than a point earned. You can see here, spoil shared as Gilson and FC Isle of Man renew acquaintances. Zach Gilson was the focus. He actually plays for Burton at the moment. I don't know if he actually came off the bench in that game or not. And they're saying that it was marred by a succession of fouls by us. I don't think we're necessarily that type of team. Let's mix it up for the next game just to try something different. Let's go with our positive mentality from the start, and let's shift to attacking if we need to during the course of the game. Magic of Editing, we're going to jump forward to the game against Forest Green now. Right, just like that, we're a couple of days ahead. I've made 2 changes to the lineup, and both of them are based on current form. When I say that, I mean like the last 5 match ratings. We had Preston Kelly, who's really been struggling. He's down at like a 6.4 average rating over the last 5 games. So we're going to give Angelo a start. Little Afghan youth international that we've got here. He's not great, but you know, you never know what happens. You give someone a platform, they can go above and beyond your expectations. And the other one is Haywood in central midfield. Munoz just struggled over the last 5 games or so. Only 6.8 average rating for the season. We're going to bring in Keith Haywood. His average rating is a 7.29, which makes me think he's probably performed a bit better once he's been given the options. So I'm not worried as much right now about the, like current star ratings, for current ability, expected ability, whatever else. I'm going to be driven, I think, probably for like the next month or so on what everyone's current form is like. So that if players aren't playing well, even if they are much better right now or potentially much better in the future, we're just going to kind of reward the best team possible until we get past Christmas. Once we get into the new year and games start spacing out a little bit, less cup competitions, all that sort of stuff, we can potentially look at trying to like get a development 11 together and getting them as much game time as possible if we're not going to make the playoffs, if we're not going to get relegated. Make use of that time while we can. Looking for our screen, they're playing a flat 4-4-2. Looks like a very similar structure to us. Maybe one of these midfielders is a little bit more advanced than our central 2. Leading scorer up top, and Let's just go with Lunderloo, I'm guessing. £1.5 million for the young French player, 27 years of age. That's not that young, now that I've said it out loud. Southampton is where he came through. He's been at Coventry, Wigan, and now Forest Green for at least one season. Looks fairly solid. Nothing spectacular, nothing jumping out at me as being particularly dangerous, but solid across the board. He's their leading assist maker for the season. Fidel O'Rourke, their highest average rating for the year, ex-Liverpool junior. We've come up against him a couple of times with Forest Green and Oldham over the last few seasons. Looks to be quite good, decent pace as well in behind, so I'm sure they're going to work a little big man, small man combination between the two of them. They've got Jacob Greaves at centre-back, ex-Hull City, who we previously looked at to pick him up once his whole contract expired in the universe of the game, but we just couldn't get him because his wages are 2.4 a week and we don't have anyone up near that particular value just yet. Their captain, Galloway, left fullback, Brendan Galloway, had big raps on him when he first came through at Everton, 17 first-team appearances as a youth player. Then he went to Luton, and then he's dropped down again to the lower divisions with Forest Green. So I like Forest Green a lot. They've got an awesome stadium. They've got like a vegan policy or something like that amongst the playing group, which is very, very fascinating. Passionately, I'm going to say, I know we're underdogs, but go out and give this team or the fans a performance to cheer for. Now I'm just going to passionately tell everybody that I've got faith in them, because if we could get an episode where we actually get another 3 points, it's going to be massive for the rest of the season. First highlight of the game here, deep free kick to be taken by Hollis in the Forest Green goal. Friend at left wing plays it back into Kitching. Maybe we could have got that if maybe someone had been on their toes. Williams with the ball now in midfield. Looks to play it across to Taylor, but it's cut out in midfield. This is concerning. No one's getting to the ball quick enough, and thankfully the drive from distance is straight at Johnston, and he saves and holds. Corner routine here, Taylor to take. Deep one towards back stick. Greaves challenges. Everyone just overran the ball, it looked like. Anya Dinmar, who had that drive earlier in the last highlight, now bursting forward on the right-hand side. Walderman does well to stay with him. Goes back to him again and gets to the byline. Angelo does get the block in, but then the cut back to, it's there, but I think O'Rourke is going to be offside in the build-up here. So a nice little cut back pass, and then the strike was poked home by O'Rourke. Would have been interesting to see if O'Rourke hadn't touched it, if that one would have found the back of the net. But we're very much second best in this game, so let's jump back to our attacking structure. Let's also use a get creative shout. About 10 minutes of the first half remaining. It'd be a great time to get a goal. Deep throw in here for Forest Green. Back to Galloway now, who's got time ahead of him. Williams needs to get there a bit quicker. Fidel O'Rourke's got him goal side and behind the defence. Thankfully, it's a wide area. He's clipped the inside of the post, and then Taylor, thankfully on hand, dropping deep to clear it away. Corner routine here, McCluskey with the header. Kitching's going to recover possession. And we win it back through Williams. Played forward to Record. Switched out towards the left. Taylor will chase. The keeper's going to come and goes long up the line. Angelo with a poor header back into midfield. Anya Dinma picks up the ball. Lunderloo, I think is how we decided we were going to say it. Reverse pass to O'Rourke, and he's gotten there first. So we're just getting torn apart here by Forest Green. They are the worst team in the division, and they're making us look very, very ordinary at the moment. At least, if you wanted to try and find a positive in it all, conceding just before halftime means I know what team talk I'm going to do at halftime. May with the ball in here. Jones is the nice little reverse pass. Just that's poor defending. We should have tried to drop as a group instead of McCluskey going to the ball. He's set to be a covering defender, so it's weird that he made that decision. But O'Rourke slides it beyond the on-rushing keeper. Halftime, 8 shots, 2 on target, 56% possession for Forest Green. We've had 2 shots, none on target, and only 44% of the ball. We are going to aggressively say, show me something else in the second half. Everyone's responded positively, but the big issue we've got at the moment is quite a few different players out here on less than 6.6 match ratings, which is pretty poor. As always, we'll give everyone 15 minutes, and then we'll have a look at subs based on form, fitness, match ratings, all that sort of stuff. Throw in here. First time I think we've started with possession in one of these highlights. Wademan, good pass out to Angelo. Into Record. Good reverse pass there to Taylor, who had more time I think than he realised. Gets into the box, gets the strike away on his wrong foot, but Hollis very much equal to it. Alright, now played, and we've got 3 players really struggling. Dwayne Record is having a tough little run of form. Might bring on Jim Strain and play him as an advance forward instead, just as something different. Johnson hasn't had a great game, which is a weird one. Taylor's on a yellow card, but I think I'll keep him out there. Angelo struggled, so let's bring on Preston Kelly. Hopefully a bit of a wake-up call for him. And what I might do is bring off Clive Williams and put Paul Lewington on the right-hand side. He's a right-footed player. So we keep that balance with the 2 wide players. There's a highlight going on here. It's Forest Green in possession again. May out to Anya Dinma. Cannot seem to get the ball off him once he's in possession. May with a long ball over the top to Johnson, the overlapping fullback. Just stand him up, boys. Ball in towards back post. It's headed away. Galloway's going to recover at left back. Goes around Williams with very little resistance, and it gets another challenge again, and somehow Lunderloo just puts that header against the crossbar and managed to scramble it away again. I'm going to use a get creative shout. They've got a corner here, Jones to take. Taylor lets it run. We've given away a penalty. I don't even know how. It didn't even come up at the bottom how we've done that. Jones is going to take to give him a 2-goal advantage. He sends the keeper the wrong way. So I did say at the start, and I was kind of being a little bit ironic in the hope that maybe Sports Interactive was listening in and they were going to prove me wrong just to spite me. But it's so frustrating that we can do quite well against teams in the upper half of the division, but the teams at the bottom end is where we've really struggled at the moment, putting chances away against teams that are dropping off against this. So this will be a defeat to Forest Green, the worst team in the division, like still, even with this win, off 4 points from Mansfield in second bottom spot. And we also drop points in the first game as well. Lewington with a corner here though. Strain pinballs it around. We've managed to get it home. I think it's going to be disallowed for Tyrone Taylor being offside. It has. So any chance we had it maybe like a late grandstand finish to try and push for an equaliser are gone. They've got a corner here. Maghomer to take. Greaves back header. I don't know why our centre back is being marked up by our right back, Lewis Wright, who's not great in the air. Quite frustrating this one. A bit of a nightmare. 3 minutes to be added on. I don't think we're going to see any further highlights, and we don't. So 13 shots, 4 on target, 58% possession. We've had 9, 4 and 42. Aggressively, I'm going to say, far from pleased with that result. They're the worst team in the league. Like, we should be getting at least 3 points. I know 3 points are all that's on offer, but like that's my minimum expectation. 3 or more. You never know. They might be breaching FFP. We might get additional points on top of that. You can't really tell what's going to happen. So we stay in 15th spot, which is kind of where we're hovering at the moment. We're not quite getting dragged down into the relegation playoffs, or sorry, relegation spots at the moment. We do still have a bit of a points buffer to those teams, but we drift further and further away from the top half sides. You can see even 3 points in that last episode only would have taken it, in that last game only would have taken us as high as 13th position based on goal difference and all that sort of stuff. And this kind of elite group, it's already crossed the 30-point threshold. Peterborough, Sunderland, MK Dons and Millwall, they're starting to pull away from the rest of the teams in the playoff positions as well. So you can kind of see the quality of the division is actually starting to shine through, and potentially being, yes, a very young squad, but a very high potential squad is actually starting to catch up with us a little bit as well. But what I do think is we'll clear this out. I'm going to give everyone a day, I might give everyone 2 days, just to get their shit together, have a bit of relax, a bit of a chill. We're definitely going to stick on our attacking structure because I think we showed a bit more attacking intent in the second half. But what we might do is try and mix up some of these different match roles and stuff that we've got sorted here. Maybe instead of a poacher, we go back to an advanced forward. Maybe instead of a box-to-box, we have a look at the Messiah and see how we go. Maybe instead of a stopping and a covering defender, we just go to 2 central defenders on defend. There's a couple of different things we're going to have a look at and test out, I think, over the next month. As we continue to try and pick our team based on like form rather than actual fitness and ability and all that sort of stuff. And as we do that, we might as well come back for these games against Rochdale and Wimbledon. It gives us a good chance, I think, to do like 3-4 games off screen. Some of them are cup competitions, which we're not too worried about, but 3-4 games off screen. And then we've got 2 games to kind of see how that month has gone and set ourselves up for a nice little run in December as well. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. That is the portion I appreciate the most. Now, I do have a special shout out to do. I probably should have done it at the start, but a massive shout out to Bobby G Gaming at Bobby G Gaming NZ on Twitter, because yesterday he sent through a list of like every FM content creator that he's actually watching during like this quarantine, like lockdown type period. And we were one of the ones that he included, which I appreciate a tremendous amount. He's a fantastic guy. He does wonderful stuff, and he does a tremendous amount, like kind of advocating for mental health and talking about his own journey and all that sort of stuff, which is fantastic to see. So by all means, go and check out his stuff as well. There will be a link down in the comments just to pay him back a little bit. But a lot of wonderful things happening in the FM content creation community at the moment, so we'll continue to contribute a little bit to that as well. As always, if you have any feedback, chuck it in the comment section below. If you want to go that little extra mile and support the channel, you can subscribe to be kept up to date on all future videos, or alternatively, drop a like on this video just to please that YouTube algorithm, get more views on the series, get the community growing a little bit, get more people down in the comment section, and continue to grow that way. The links are just over there on that side if you wanted to go that little extra step and follow us on Twitch or Twitter as well. But like I said at the start, watching is the part that means the most to me. As always, I've been Sean, and I'll see you again in the mixer.